Hi, welcome back to The Scent Advocate. Tonight is part 2 of my series on comforting green fragrances from my collection. I recently did part 1 and I got a lot of wonderful feedback, and I have a few more that I think are really worth talking about. So that's the topic of tonight's discussion. Let me just say that you should stay till the end because I think something of a universal favorite. Well, I'll tell you this much. If you don't love it, you really don't like it, but you either love it or you don't like it. Very polarizing fragrance, but a few of you who are subscribers or who've been kind enough to comment have mentioned this fragrance. And I didn't reveal in my replies that I'm going to be featuring it as tonight's final selection. So stay tuned if you want to see what it is. If you think you've named it, it's definitely something that's well known and deservedly so. So stick around as we dive into more comforting, soothing green fragrances for spring. If you don't have a beverage, you should. Tonight's selection for me is a local Cucumber Dr. Constantine Frank sparkling wine. If you know, you know. It is an amazing vineyard, and you should definitely check it out if you get a chance. I'll put a link in the notes. And if you aren't yet a subscriber, please consider subscribing and leave me a comment at the end of the video and a like if you enjoy what we talked about tonight. All right, let's jump right in. Tonight's first fragrance is Eucalyptus 20 by Labo. You know, I bought this at the Labo boutique at the Wynn, right? Because that's where I do most of my in-person fragrance shopping. It's just a result of the fact that I recently lived in Salt Lake, and it was super easy to get to Las Vegas from where I lived. I think it was like 5-hour drive. So very, very easy. You just hop on the I-15 and you're there in a few hours. Gorgeous scenery all along the way. If you're in that area, I highly recommend taking a trip out to Vegas. Take advantage of the closeness and check out the shops at the Wynn. In particular, Le Labo. So this is a 50 ml EDP. It goes for about $240, and it is a 2025 release. The notes in this are olibanum, cedar, labdanum, eucalyptus, of course, Gurjon balsam, thyme, hyssop, and musk. So this fragrance for me is a dry wood, a very calming experience. And this takes me to a very nice furniture shop or store where they sell solid wood furniture. Have you ever been in one of those? It's not your typical furniture store. This one's a little bit more elevated or artisan. And the wood smells a certain way in there. There's a little bit of a dry, dusty hint of pine, which I think is the cedar coming out in the notes here. And you walk in, and everything costs more than you thought it would, right? But it's solid wood, so that's okay. And you're looking around, you find the perfect piece, and you want to buy it. Meanwhile, you're taking in this kind of amazing aroma. You find the piece, you want it, and you're set, right? Your heart is in it. And you buy it, and then you realize, oh no, I'm not going to get it for 6 to 8 weeks, and that's a bummer. So you got to go home without what you want. But that's the way it goes when it's, solid wood furniture. A lot of it is custom built. And so you walk out. You're anticipating the piece coming in 6 to 8 weeks. But you have this wonderful fragrance memory to get you through. And it just kind of stays with you. I remember the first time I ever shopped at a good furniture store, a good solid wood furniture store. It smelled just like this. And if you need a boost and you find yourself in that position, this will scratch the itch. It is Eucalyptus 20 by Le Labo. Moving on, we have, let's see, Concrete Forest by Strangers Parfumerie. If you follow this channel, you know I am a fan of all things Prin Lamrose. He is the nose behind this fragrance. This is an EDT, but don't let that turn you off. It's a powerhouse nonetheless. This is 30 ml. It goes for about $90, and it is a 2023 release. The notes in this are written right on the bottle, and they are orange, ginkgo, mint, bamboo moss, orange concrete, hence the concrete forest, green tea, lily of the valley, galbanum, etc., etc., but it includes cucumber and angelica. So what I get from this is energizing, but not at all acrid, even though, you know, it's got some strong greens in here. So very lily pad and a frog. You know, this takes me to a New England pond where I'm in a rowboat and there are lily pads everywhere and happy little frogs just kind of, you know, bouncing around from lily pad to lily pad, and there's nothing whatsoever gross about it. They don't jump in the boat or anything, so you're nice and safe. And you're eating a wonderful cucumber sandwich without any hint of mayonnaise. I hate mayonnaise. Like it upsets me. Let me know in the notes what your position on mayonnaise is. I'm just looking. I'm mayonnaise averse, but I don't judge anyone who enjoys mayonnaise. Like my family enjoys mayonnaise, but just it's not for me. So there's no mayonnaise on my sandwich. And you're just kind of drifting around, floating around this lake, and everything's wonderful. And you know, you're staring up at the sky, and it's beautiful, slightly overcast, so the sun doesn't you know, hurt your eyes at all. And all is right with the world. And this is what it smells like, friends. It is Concrete Forest by Strangers Parfumerie. Moving on, we've got, oh yes, Coriandre by Jean Couturier. I hope I pronounced that correctly. You know my French is revolting. This is an EDT. This is about $150 for this 100 ml, and it is a 1973 release, just like me. I'm 53. Okay, in case you're wondering. This has, let's see, coriander, aldehydes, angelica, bergamot. Let me just cut to the chase. It's a green sheep, which I adore. The nose, by the way, noses. We have multiple noses on this one. Jacqueline Couturier, Jean-Louis, Cizac, and Gerard Palpel. Very chic, right? So this is a fresh, bright sheep. It takes me to a place of personal contradiction, and it really resonates with me because the sheep in my life is typically something dark, heavy, bold, like the shoulder pads of the 1980s, the big shoulder pads and the big hair and the just big everything, you know, big music, big life. Everything was momentous and changing, you know, cell phones were big, everything was big. And yet this is a sheep that is more demure. It's not the big 80s sheep. This is a soft green sheep that is comforting, and it harkens back to a time that was comforting for me. I hope it was comforting for you, you know, my youth, the 80s, and I wear it now, and it is the contradiction of my older years, my wisdom, my life's experience, energized by the memory of my youth. You know, that sheep feel, that oak moss, and you know, the complexity of all the notes together takes me back in that scent memory to my youth, and it gives me strength, you know. So I would wear this at a time when And I'm a little bit more dressed up, maybe a more formal occasion, in a warm climate. So I'm imagining myself maybe at a wedding in a warm climate, or, a business meeting in a warm climate, someplace I'm wearing a suit or more formal attire. This would absolutely hit the mark. It is definitely unisex, right down the line. I mean, it could go either way. So if you are not a fan of coriander, by the way, I still encourage you to try this. This is not the type of coriander that I would call polarizing. So definitely give it a chance. It's gorgeous stuff. It's not too herbal, not too verdant. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous green sheep. It's Coriandre by Jean Couturier. Moving on to the next selection, we've got, yes, where are you? Oh, simple Cucombre. I think it's cucumber, but it is spelled Cucombre. And this is by Phaedon. This is 100 mil. It's an EDT. 2014 release, and it goes for about $130. The nose behind this is Pierre Guillaume, who I absolutely love. I've got several of his fragrances from his self-named line, Pierre Guillaume. This is cucumber, freesia, mint, cedar, cashmere, musk, and leather. This is a non-gourmand. I know it's a cucumber fragrance, but it's watery. It's got that kind of lurid feel to it. It's, comforting, familiar, wet, barely perfumed. This makes me think of my youth when I was, a young teenager, just kind of growing into my young adult self, and still very innocent, natural, before I got jaded and cynical. When life was pretty simple and straightforward. And that's what this makes me imagine. It takes me back to that point in time. It's not a linear fragrance, but it's sophisticated yet basic enough to harken back to my younger years. It is a stunner in the summer or warmer months. It is something if you wanted to wear it to a gym or to the beach, or, if you were going for a run, this would be a top choice. This is the kind of fragrance that blooms with a little perspiration, at least it does on me. This is definitely a unisex leaning feminine fragrance. Gorgeous stuff. It is Oh Simple Cucombre by Phaedon. Moving on, we've got, all right, this one is tough, you guys. It is French and it's difficult to pronounce. I'm going to embarrass myself. Or not. Let's do it this way. It's Bon Parfumeur 802. And I don't know. I'll leave it at that. Hey, the nose is Corinne, oh boy, Dubriel Sereni. I'm so sorry. I'm terrible at this. Well, hey, it's 100 mil. It's an EDP, and it's 2019 release, and it goes for about $140. So that's good. It's osmanthus, blackcurrant, violet, lotus, peony, freesia, rose, musk, ambrette. Yeah. All these florals. If you watch the channel, I'm not much of a floral person, with a few exceptions. This is not a floral to me. So imagine you're out either in your yard or somewhere else where there are spring blooms blooming. It's going to be daffodils or tulips, and you pick one. The way the stalk smells, right? A lot of times there's kind of water dripping out. The way that stalk smells, the way that water smells, that's this, with a hint of rose, more than a hint, kind of a backbone of rose. That's it. And if you don't love florals, you might love this anyway. It's a very watery, cool, quenching, gorgeous, refreshing spring beauty. It does lean feminine, but who cares? It's fantastic. Spring's first blooms with a very comforting green bent to it. Check out 802, I'm going to call it. Yeah, that's nice and safe. From Bon Parfumeur. All right, moving on. We have Hisui. It means jade, and it is from J Scent. This house is out of Japan. Oh gosh, this stuff is gorgeous. This is a 50 ml. It goes for $110. It's an EDP. It is a 2018 release. So the notes in this are cassis, lemon, bergamot, lily of the valley, jasmine, orange blossom, ylang ylang, oak moss, musk, patchouli, etc., etc. This is not a sheep, and I thought it would be given the lineup of the notes, but it's classified as a woody floral. But to me, it's a green sheep, and it dries down more woody and patchouli, a woody patchouli, but it's got a sheep feel to me. I think where there's oak moss, I always lean in the sheep direction. Let me know in the comments if you kind of do the same thing. There's an earthiness to oak moss that is unmistakable, and it just pulls in the sheep direction, especially if there's citrus up top and like a resinous resin or a resinous floral in the heart and that oak moss or patchouli at the base. I just get a sheep feel from it, and I get a sheep feel from this, but it's a strong it's pulling woody. So very, very comforting. It's a little bit dry. It's got something of a, I guess it's that ylang ylang, kind of a waxy, almost a banana, like a green banana tropical feel to it. Really adds to the special, unusual feel. By the way, if you're interested, much like the Stranger's Parfumerie, this house also puts the notes on the back, which I really enjoy. I didn't notice it until just now. And I really don't have much experience with houses out of Japan, but I'm really depressed with. Here we go. It's like the tofu balsam, right? I'm really depressed with houses out of Japan. Not true at all. I'm impressed with houses out of Japan. That's my first glass, you guys. Okay? There's no excuse for this. There's no excuse whatsoever. I think maybe it's just late in the day and I had a long day at work, but this is my solace right here with you guys. So anyway, I am impressed with this house out of Japan. I have maybe 4 fragrances from J Scent, and I aspire to acquire more gorgeous stuff, beautiful woody. I think sheep. It is Sui, meaning jade, by J Scent. All right. Have you guessed what tonight's final selection is? I think I said in the beginning that this was going to be a more well-known fragrance. Some of you have written me about it, and I didn't say too much other than I liked your suggestion for part 2 or something along those lines, but last chance to guess. Here we go. It is Chanel number 19, Poudre. 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 Powder. It's a powdery. This is terrible. My French is officially revolting. Okay. It's this one. All right. This goes for about $185. It is an EDP. It's 100 ml, and it's a 2011 release. Jacques Polge is the nose behind it. Let me tell you about my journey with Chanel 19. I love Chanel fragrances. I have quite a few. My one of my first fragrance experiences was Chanel number 5. Very near and dear to my heart. My grandmother wore it, she gifted it to me, and it's more than a fragrance. It's a life's experience, and that will never change. It's a legacy in my family. And because of that, I was open to all things Chanel. So I really wanted to like Chanel number 19. It's been around for a while. And so I tested it over and over again over the years, and I just couldn't get there. I just couldn't do it. I think it had something to do with my maturity level, right? I didn't fully appreciate the complexity of Chanel number 19 when I was young. And as I got older, I don't know what it was. It was like a blocker to it. But then this one came out, and this is a much softer version. I think there was a sharpness in the original Chanel number 19 that I just couldn't meld with, and this one softens it. So the notes in this are galbanum, neroli, mandarin orange, iris, jasmine, vetiver, musk, and tonka. I think the vetiver in the original was really, really strong for me. And so was the neroli. And neroli, I love citrus, but neroli can be a little off-putting for me. There's just something about it that the way it has been expressed in fragrances I've tested over the years has not been entirely positive. But this, I think the iris changes things. And I really don't know if iris was in the original Chanel 19 formulation, but it comes across in a way that makes it more powdery, much more, I don't know, comforting to me. It makes it the perfect comforting green fragrance. It epitomizes it. It's fantastic. I love it. It makes me feel, beautiful, sophisticated, comforted at the same time. When the pressure's on, this is a no-fail, easy reach. It does lean feminine to me. It's got that sharp green, but it's tempered. You're to be taken seriously, just like the green notes in this, but you're still feminine. And that's what I love about it. It's a stunner. It makes me think of, because it's got this dry component to it, so the story I tell myself for this fragrance is it's me when I lived out west and we visited a ghost town. They have a lot of them out there. You just kind of see the way things are, and it's not really a guided tour or anything. It's just kind of looking at it from a distance and the remnants of it. And there are plenty of sagebrush around, and memories and history and freedom, and a little bit of cowboy or cowgirl badassness going on. And that's what I get from this. And at the same time, it carries me through my most formal, professional moments. I think it's because of that cowgirl kind of badass feel it's got to it. Chanel number 19, Poudre. Gorgeous stuff. So did you guess what it was going to be? Did you guess the last selection? Let me know in the comments. And hey, if you're not yet a subscriber, please consider joining the Scent Advocate family and become a subscriber. Let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions for me or anything in particular you want to see. Let me know what you think of the video. If you like it, give me a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for joining. Bye-bye.